How about that? Has that started yet? Anything? Anything? Is anything working? Is that okay? Now, can you hear me? Can you see me? Yes. Right, well, obviously what I've been trying isn't working at all, so yes, that can sod off. Jeff, buttons were pressed. Jeff has got involved. We don't need this shit. I don't need this shit. But it's now working. Greetings and salutations to everyone. I'll have to go back up and see who's in here now, won't I? See, we've got Steve. How you doing, mate? Mandy. Ewan, how's things, mate? How you doing? You alright? Casper, how's things, bud? Saf, alright, mate. Adam, how's things? Yes, 10-point deduction for tonight. What I can do, I can add points to everyone if they need to. I can do that. I have the power. Just wish I could do it with Everton, but obviously not. Yes, you get extra points for sticking with it. I don't know what's going on with this. I followed every instruction, but obviously not doing exactly what I'm supposed to do. But, you know, these things are as they are, aren't they? So to speak. I will do more digging. I've got a different lens on my camera as well, by the way. Which is why it looks a bit more bokeh-ish in the background. But yeah, this has been interesting. Been an interesting day so far anyway. Adam's not here for long, so while he's in, just a reminder, Charcoal Coffee Company, get on it. The link is in the description below. Absolutely fantastic stuff. The Ethiopian geisha coffee is absolutely phenomenal, by the way. Definitely get on that. Everyone needs points. We all need points. No more than Everton. Di was chewing cables. That would not surprise me. It's got the hallmarks of Jeff, to be honest, though. We know how evil Jeff is. Jeff seems to have been playing a huge part in my life the last day or two. Absolute knob that he is. Yeah, spam the chat to level up quickly. Spoken very, very wisely by someone who understands exactly how that works there, Kirsty. Yeah, Sheffield Wednesday needs it more than Everton. The weirdest thing about it is, like I think I said on Sunday, if Everton would have gone into administration with the loss of hundreds of jobs and the losses of millions of pounds, we'd have only got 9 points deduction and we would have ended up being 1 point higher in the league. That's how stupid it is. Yes, insane size cup for an insane size man. Looks like the background is green screen because it is the bokeh effect. Embrace the Suck 21 in the house. How's things? You alright? Just Daniel, just the guy on the right. But yeah, but I need a big cup because I'm a big chap, getting bigger all the time. But yeah, the background is because it is the lens. Yeah, extra money, but to hell with the consequences. I don't mind nerd activities. I was looking through some of the stuff that I've got, some of the I don't know, the kit that I've got. I've gone a bit stupid at times, but I'm not arsed. I've got the money at the moment, so I may as well get it before I start having to spend an absolute fortune on diesel going into work. But yeah, nice little setup now. And I've still got me massive light to put up as well. So that will happen at some point this week, I think. Yeah. Yeah, Dan, yeah. Playing with ETS buttons. I've also had to open 2 accounts on Rumble just to protect my own name. Well, positive mental attitude, but also trichadelic, which I have been on social media for the last 20 years or so, with thousands of followers here, there, and everywhere. So I don't want people pretending to be me because I can do it bad enough myself. Yeah, and always push buttons, Daniel. Always push buttons. Adam, you're a small slave army helping you build your channel. That's what you want to see. Oh, hello. Botrix has now correctly joined the channel. Took its while there. You're about to get into the concert. No ads, no ads. In Liverpool, days are now down by 8 hours and 41 minutes. Yes. My daughter is there at the moment working, as Ewan will tell you, working on the Christmas markets. I had to pick her up this morning, take her to college, pick her up from college, take her home, then pick her up from home, take her to the train station, and I will be picking up from the train station at about 11:30 tonight when she gets back. So it's just never ending. This taxi dad thing that I do, never ending. But it's my daughter. Why wouldn't I want to do it? Plus, I like the fact that I can play her some decent music. I had playing 9 Inch Nails earlier on in the car, and she went, "Oh, I recognise that." I thought, brilliant. She went, "It's off TikTok." I thought, for fuck's sake. It's not off TikTok, it's 9 Inch Nails. It might have been used on TikTok, but it's not off TikTok. Daniel, no problem, mate. Thank you for turning up. Good luck ETSing. Yes, Casper, when you turned 18, you started driving your dad around. I did the same thing. I passed my test very early when I was 17 and ended up having to drive my dad here, there and everywhere. And I've been doing it for the last, I was my maths, 33 years. So earlier, my daughter will eventually be passing her test, hopefully soon, she can start driving me around. Yeah, Steve, see me in my bungle suit. That I love that, that's such a great thing to have, an oversized hoodie, really fleecy, really warm, which obviously I need because I'm sat outside houses all day, every day, waiting for my bloody daughter to come out. I also look a little bit like Sully from Monsters Inc. Adam, which brand extract was it? I watched the one that you said last time, and I can't remember the name of it now because my brain's not right. Casper, that's a very good idea to stop at that point. You would have been freaking out the entire neighbourhood. Absolutely. Although there are those people, you've seen the real dolls. I think, again, we've mentioned this on the stream before. There was a Channel 5 documentary about real dolls. Those really freaky dolls. Someone drives around town with his in the passenger seat. Imagine getting pulled up by the police for that, man. It's bizarre. Adam, I did like it, yeah. I did actually. A lot of it's my kind of music anyway. I grew up listening to loads of Genesis and Yes and King Crimson and that. Prog rock with loads of jazz influences, and especially with Bill Bruford being a jazz drummer. So I'm sort of used to that kind of music. I do like it. Gets me going, man. Yes, Kirsty, the sex dolls, just bizarre, but not just the ones that Del Boy and Rodney had in Only Fools and Horses. No, these are real top of the range ones that cost an absolute fortune and that people tend to drive around town with in the car. Bizarro. That Real Doll documentary, it scarred my mind as well. It's absolutely horrible. Wipe clean, yeah. I think that was at the same time that in work. Do you remember, you used to get the Daily Mirror or the Sunday Mirror, it was one of them anyway, that used to have the catalogue. sort of the Billy Connolly catalogue with the bowler hat with sleeves and the all that shit. All the strange stuff that you couldn't buy in the shops, which you now can. It used to just be you get them in that little stupid catalogue in the paper, and there was a penis extension thing that you create a vacuum and all that stuff, and it had written in the blurb underneath it, dishwasher safe, and everybody in work, that was it from that point onwards. If anything was dishwasher safe, it automatically, the person who bought it was an absolute ne'er-do-well. And we also came up with the idea that anyone who uses one, or rather, anyone who drives a certain yellow coloured car, it has to be a certain shade of yellow, obviously has bought a penis extender, what you call it, enlarger, penis enlarger. So that became known as cock pump yellow in work. If anyone came in wearing any clothing that was he's wearing cock pump yellow. Can't wear that. Yeah. The ones used in the Olympics, they were the ones, weren't they? Yeah. Where you could go around and have a look at the crowd and just be hundreds of normal people followed by an entire section of weirdness going on. And yet they still make more noise than the average Fulham crowd. Sorry, Mandy, that is football talk, but it had to be done. There was a funny documentary that, where'd you first find out that they exist? Where'd you find them? Where'd you buy them from? Some of this stuff just blows my mind completely. You don't just normally, you can't go to the shop and buy them, obviously. There must be, was it pre-websites? I don't know. Or just some very, very strange people in the world. But wherever tickles your pickle. Goedenavond, Hadewig. Hoe gaat het? Actually, talking about football as well, it looks like on Sunday there's going to be absolute chaos and bedlam at the match. Someone started a GoFundMe to try and pay for a few banners to be hung up in the stadium. So far they've got over £40,000. So they've printed off a load of banners and placards to hang up or hold up, saying that the Premier League are corrupt and whatever. There'll still be loads of money left over, so hopefully there might be some charities getting a few quid out of it as well. Een zware dag op het werk. Well, over and done with now. We're talking about terrible behaviour. Sex dolls in Everton. Penis enlargers in Everton. I know, I've got no idea how these things are connected, but there you go. But it's funny, the people that were involved, the independent tribunal that were involved, one of them worked for West Ham, one of them worked for Chelsea, and one of them is a King's Counsel who represented Leeds United, who are one of the teams who were trying to sue us. So it feels as though maybe there's a hint of impropriety and he shouldn't be doing it. But it's us and we get treated differently to everyone else, so we'll just have to get used to it. But apparently our solicitors and whoever are very, very happy with the situation because it looks as though the Premier League, not the FA, have just completely ignored rules and started making stuff up as they go along. So it could be quite interesting over the next few weeks. See what happens and see what lies they bring up to try and cover themselves. Vile, vile people. Yeah, I tried something earlier on and now there's loads of weird stuff happening on my screens. It's just so strange. But I'm finding loads of stuff out. And the first one is, don't try and be a smart ass. I think that's the first one I've really clocked onto that one. Don't try and be clever. Have I missed anyone? Let's go back quickly and have a look. No, it doesn't look like it. If I have, I do apologise because obviously we started catastrophically. Casper, you heard of a guy between statues laying down a piece of meat and doing it with the statues as inspiration? That takes some doing that. Does he work there? Is he bored? I know I used to live over the road from a cemetery. The pub that we had was over the road from a cemetery. Um, the name of the road was Cemetery Road, and opposite was pub and cemetery, and the bus stop. Whenever it was coming to that particular bus, the conductor used to go ding, ding, ding. The George, spirits both sides. Famous little thing that they used to say. And some of the grave diggers used to drink in the pub while we were there. And some of the stories used to tell us. It must knock you a bit weird doing jobs like that. It's crazy. Mandy's been working on a knitted Jeff. That sounds like something you could have time off work with, wouldn't it? You'll post a pic later. Adam, can I name a perfect film? I don't think any film's perfect, really, is it? But perfect for me, I don't know. Grand Budapest Hotel. The Life of Brian, always. Meatballs with Bill Murray. Perfect just because of when it was, when I watched it, and where I was at the time. Or the only perfect film is a film of oil on water, when the light catches it. It would take a hell of an active imagination. Not something I'm willing to try, but there you go. You've made two. What is a Buddhist Barbie? A fat Barbie, yep. Your perfect film is Jaws. I can see that that is a fantastic film. I don't think people realise just how good that is. People who watched it years ago just remember it being a shark. Go back and watch it. It is a really, really good film. Yep, can't wait to see what Jeff looks like. That, I'm assuming, obviously, is the knitted Jeff, not the lunatic that we have, who's been causing trouble yet again. I only pressed one button, and then all of a sudden all this shit happened. It's bizarre. Dressed in orange and bald, Buddhist Barbie. What was the first film you saw in the cinema? That is a very good question. I can't remember exactly which one it was. I think it was a Disney film. Was The Rescuers? Was that a Disney film? Because I seem to remember that. I do remember going to watch Moonraker. Is it 1980 or 81 or something? That was the Bond film with a fella called Alan Ramage, who used to play for Middlesbrough. My dad's teammate. He also played cricket for Yorkshire. Really, really talented sportsman, but also an absolute lunatic. And he just went round the street and grabbed as many kids as he could. Like, come on, we're going to watch the pictures. So we all went and watched Moonraker. No one batted an eyelid because it was Alan, just an absolute lunatic, but I remember that well. And I saw the Madness film as well when I was still only 7 years old, I think it was, 7 or 8. Bizarre. Your first film on your own was The Slipper and the Rose, Mandy. Nice. Star Wars, 1978, Birmingham Odeon with your dad. That's the kind of thing that sticks in your mind proper, that, isn't it? That is a genuinely a coming of age kind of thing, especially with your dad. Fantastic. Kirsty, you can't remember what your first film was. Kirsty, can you remember what your last film was? Steve, yours was also Star Wars. I think there'll be a theme about that with people our age, that, you know, or that sort of generation in between. I don't know what you call it. Sort of, I don't know, 50s to mid 50s will have all been the same kind of thing. Yeah. How do we yours was Schindler's List, and you went with a class for history lesson? Bloody hell, I didn't realise. Yeah, Schindler's List. It's been out for a while. It seems to be in my mind that it's only come out in the last sort of, I don't know, 10 years, but obviously it's not, is it? It's a while ago. Strange. It's a bit heavy as well, that, isn't it, to go for your first film. I've seen The Rescuers, you saw Schindler's List. But there you go. Yeah, and I think we all need history lessons like that. Don't let it happen again. Man, that you saw Star Wars with your bro and an aunt. Don't start saying bro. Get enough of that with me daughter. Texting me and ringing me up. Sapping him bro. Don't need that. Djungeledrit in 1993. Yeah, Kirsty thinks this is a film. This is the kind of film that will stick with you for a long time. This camera work's looking okay, but you know the technical things are going shite. Bro is American slang. It is, and also it isn't. It's also used heavily. Liverpool, it's used all the time. It used to be lad. Hey lad, what lad? Me lad. Yeah lad, you lad, what lad? Nothing lad. Ah lad. Now it's bro. Know what I mean, bro? Hey bro, what bro? And of course, 17-year-old wall girls will say the same thing. By the way, if anyone's seen me little video from earlier on, well, Steve has done obviously. I called my daughter a wool, which I do regularly when she pisses me off, because it's something that she's got no comeback from. And a wool is someone who's not from Liverpool really, but is near enough around the area. It's pretty close. Although we still call people from Stoke and places like that wools. Wool, it comes from woolly back, which I think is down to people that live in these places shag sheep for a living. I think that's where it comes from. I may be wrong, but yeah, the wolves. There's no coming back from it if you call someone a wool, apart from if they come back with Yama or Yama on toast. That's it. That ends every argument in Liverpool. There's literally no coming back from it. Bro is a town there, and so is Ho and Hobro. Hobros, I think that's a specific genre of young men in America, aren't they? I think they're called Chads, Hobros. From the Black Country originally. I think it was our kid. Love the Black Country. Famous for giving us some exceptionally good music, obviously. And I think me nan's brother, what does that make him to me? I can't remember. He was a lorry driver and he used to live in Wolverhampton. Don't know why, but he did. He lived there for years. Possibly because it probably fitted him for his work, probably. Yeah, Maduck. Maduck isn't that more Derbyshire, Nottinghamshire? People from Derby, Nottingham and Mansfield tend to call people Maduck, don't they? Or Art Maduck. Yam alright, all kid, yeah. Yam yams. And of course, I absolutely adore Barry from I'll Be the Same Pet. Keep young and beautiful. She's out to be beautiful. We met me and my mate, we were out on the ale one night. We met a couple who were from the Black Country, and we ended up dragging them around town with us in Liverpool. They were brilliant, and they were real, proper, full-on Black Country. The accents were incredible. Great people. And they were quite surprised that they knew Liverpool was a fairly friendly town, but didn't realise that they would get dragged along with us and taken to all kinds of dens of iniquity. Yeah, the cup is what you call American cinema size. Popcorn does normally come in there. Fancy a cup of tea? I think I've mentioned again on a previous thing, we've got a mate who came from Birmingham. Came to work up in Liverpool, but moved to Southport because he was on a few quid. And he come into I think he tested all the pubs around where they'd moved to. And the final one he came to was ours. And we just took the piss out of him straight away. At which point he said, "This is my local now." And we used to call him the Radish, which came from I'll Be the Same Pet. When Barry used to say to Wayne, "Well, you stop calling me a radish wine." So that's it. He became the Radish, and all these years later, he still calls me Treacle. I still call him the Radish. Strange. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon or Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring. Never seen Crouching Tiger, despite the fact that it was brought out to absolute huge. Didn't it win like 7 million Oscars or something? Huge fanfare. But not like a kipper in your tea. You could fit one in there as well, actually. Probably fit a whale's head in there. Isn't that the most stupid cup, that don't Mr. Cool? Quite frankly, I'm the most least cool thing ever. Yes, Tricadelic. I'll give you a quick little intro into this. Because I work behind the bar in the pub. Do you remember EastEnders Pete Beale used to call people treacle? People that were working behind the bar. Which of course comes from treacle tart, so it's a bit of an offensive thing to be saying, really. But everyone used to say to me, "I'll give us a cap of splosh treacle." So but it was a bad treacle, with a fake Cockney accent. And then treacle stuck with me. But then when I was starting to use social media or get email addresses, when you put treacle in as a username, it's always used. So of course, I like Funkadelic and Parliament, and I like Screamadelica, the Primal Scream album, so I became Tricadelic, because I knew it wouldn't be used for email addresses or usernames and things. And that's why I use it on absolutely everything. One problem with it is when I use it on my PlayStation, one of the lads had his 10-year-old son playing Call of Duty with us with his headset on, and he kept calling me Trickle-Dick by mistake, and that stuck for a while. It took me a good few months to get rid of that nickname. Crouching Tiger is visual, very beautiful, but he didn't like the story. That's what it looked like to me. It looked like it had been beautifully shot. Sometimes those films are fantastic, but sometimes it's all style over substance, which, by the sound of it, that is. Again, I think that's why I like the Grand Budapest Hotel. I've got a thing about Wes Anderson films, and same as Peter Greenaway films. Just the way they look, the music that's used, the vibe, the aesthetic. I absolutely love it. Tweakle, yeah, that's it. White Tweakle. Crouching Hamster, Hidden Bumfluff. Hugely Norfolk, isn't that, Steve? Laz, how you doing, mate? I just seen that you had a live. Was it live? Was it yesterday? I seen the VOD on YouTube. I have not got anyone's notifications for about 2 or 3 weeks now. It's ridiculous. Something's definitely going on, and I know if you post 3 videos in a day, then the notifications don't go out. But I hadn't posted anything, so I've got no idea why. It's ridiculous. Some people, if they have 2 cats, will name them Hoogan and Moonin. Crouching Coffee, Hidden Whaleman. Yeah. Avatar, beautiful to look at, but not an original story. Basically, dancing with wolves in space. There you go. Yes, man, the Trickle-Dick instead of Tricadelic. But it doesn't do me any favours, does it? Unfortunately. I've had worse nicknames, to be honest. I still get called worse on a regular basis. By my daughter as well at times. Yeah, some say that Waterworld is derivative of the Bible. There'll be loads of stuff like that, loads of films that take little bits of stories from here, there and everywhere. And then when you watch them without realising, someone points it out, actually, yeah, you're 100% right there. Live yesterday, you missed last week. I seen that you're away, weren't you? Got your first video out today. Only 2 years after the channel started. It's don't worry about that, because I think my YouTube channel started in 2006. Only because I've had an Android phone for that long. You automatically get a YouTube sign in. And I started watching stuff. I put a couple of videos on. I think 2009 I started doing me poetry stuff with Kippers Vindaloo, the bear. And then it took me till 2022 to start actually making proper video. Well, not proper videos, If you watch any of them, not really proper, are they? You do like The Nightmare Before Christmas. Is that the film or the shopping? Being called a Rantalian in the 1700s would suck. It's a term for a dude with balls longer than the old fella. Oof. What's Captain like in the flesh? Yeah, not many people have ravens. Oh, the film. Lads, do you know what? Anyone that makes a video for YouTube, genuinely, you put any kind of effort in and put yourself out there on camera, I say fair play to you. I mean, all the stuff I do is just talking head stuff with absolutely no editing whatsoever. But I still know how much effort goes involved into that. When you start into that proper edit stuff, it's a pain. Adam, cheers, mate. No worries. See you soon. And don't forget, Charcoal Coffee Company. Get on it. The link is in the description. I hate editing. I know some people absolutely love the process. Can't be arsed with it. I will sit and make thumbnails all day, every day. I'll do all that. I don't mind going out and filming stuff. I don't mind sitting in front of the camera in the car or here. I'm brilliant. I enjoy doing it. But editing things and trying to work out where to put B-roll and all that stuff, nah. Not my scene, man. Not my scene. It's got to be done. Until you reach the point like some of these big channels where they've got 15 people working for them. Would they be happy though? Yeah. What time are we on? I have to remember to give Kippers his little moment in the sun as always. Captain is a miniature giant space bear. You've got a 6-inch arm span and couldn't touch your hands when you hugged. Lovely bloke, you'd happily go back to see him. Was that, yeah, Tina Pecky looked like he's got a fair amount of heft about him. For your confirmation money at 13, you bought a camera, a PC and editing software. For my 13th birthday, those things didn't exist. If you wanted a PC, it would be the size of one of the rooms of your house, unfortunately. Bog roll goes in the bathroom. I shut about B-roll. No, B-roll is an unnecessary pain that we have to deal with. Lad's 6'1", good height, a sensible height. Not the kind of height where you keep banging your head on ceilings and things. Although according to that stupid woman in the clinic, I'm a smidge under 6'2". Yeah, of course I am, love. Almost knocked myself out on the moon the other day, but I'm just under 6'2", half width. In fact, you know what? Sod it. Should we go there? Shall we?
Kippers kicks ass.
This should be interesting because I think serotine bats use penises in bizarre way during sex, scientists say. The serotine bat, which has a penis about 7 times longer than its partners of a JJ, appears to use it to push female tail sheaths out of the way. Kipper says 7 times longer, show off bastards.
Kippers kicks ass.
You jealous there, Kippers? Don't know why he's getting all upset about that. You don't want it 7 times the size, Jesus. Especially not if you're one of the ones who's got one of those real dolls. We don't need any of that. York, yeah. York will knock you out with every door frame. Only been to York twice. Once we got beat by York City 3-2 in the Coca-Cola Cup, which was hugely embarrassing. And once my ex-wife was going for a job interview, which I think was a job interview. No, she had to go and pass a course for work, and she did. I think she passed that. So, swings and roundabouts, innit? You know what I mean? The one with the huge glands, yep. Reminds you of your old friend Jonas. Called him Snake because he had a 23 centimetre old fella. 23 centimetres. Oh, 15's 6 inches, isn't it? Jeez. Yep, over 9. Heavy salad, that, mate. Heavy salad. Kev, how you doing, mate? How's things? Yep. Kirsty mustn't have a Dutch keyboard on. What she's got instead is a 1980s Brat Pack film keyboard on, because Pfeiffer Brookfield, that has got to be a character from a Brat Pack film. Has to be. Absolutely. Bellatrix. Isn't Bellatrix a band as well? I think. Yeah, Casper, do you carry a tape measure everywhere you go? Do you have one with you? Or are you a savant? Are you someone that can look and just see? I can tell exactly how tall you are, how much you weigh, how much your alpha is. How's the Duolingo going? Yeah. How's everyone's Duolingo going? Loads of us are doing it, aren't we? Mine's going a bit weird. I've got to the point now where everything's at the beach. All the buildings are at the beach or are surrounded by the park. The fun thing is, his ex is now dating the guy he went to boarding school with. So besides her, you're the only one that's seen her ex with the 23 and her current with the 14. What's known as the long and the short of it. It popped up of his own account. These things are just really, really badly timed. The 23 centimetre popped up of his own account. Lads, yep, take measure in your bag at all times. You never know when it could come in handy, so to speak. Yeah, got a 12-incher, but I don't use it as a rule. You were paid to do a list at the boarding school. Man, that's a different job, isn't it? Compared to milk monitor or something. Or hall monitor. Harrisonburg Occidental. I'm sure I used to work for them in accounts. Yeah, YouTubers playing tag in this stream. One tag's in, the other one tag's out. It's good though. I like it. I like the fact that we still all support each other. Pocket knife, is that better to carry? You never know when you have to cut a pie. Yeah, I don't think I'd be happy walking around Manchester with a pocket knife. I would suggest that Manchester would be the same as Liverpool and London, where you'd be getting checked by the police every couple of seconds. Lads, you have leveled up to level 1. Fantastic, here we go. Something to do beside the night raids, yeah. Oh, lads, I'm not a YouTuber, mate. Definitely not. Uh, Someone said I was a content creator. Well, in as much as I create content, I've got a Twitter account. That is creating content, but I'm not a content creator or a YouTuber. I piss around in front of a camera. That's about it, really. We're doing well. I was actually have a quick look and see how Botteriks is getting on here. Yeah, loads of points. People are doing well. Yeah, make sure you leave it at home tomorrow. If you go into court, they definitely have metal detectors. Does this make it proof that I'm a YouTuber? I can see my bank account. My bank account is not the bank account of a YouTuber, unfortunately. I was trying to simulcast or simulcast, whatever you want to call it, on here and Twitch at the same time, and it didn't work earlier. That's why things went tits up, unfortunately. How many points do you need, Mandy? Yeah, nobody knows. Yeah, I got a. Yeah, Kev, you think I'm a tuber? It's not like a potato. I'm totally a tuber, dude. Absolute tuber. I've got a bank account one stage closer than you. That's fair enough. Bugger all in it, like, but at least I have got one. I tried to get me balanced the other day, and it just sent out a little card saying with deepest sympathy. Casper, you once tried to get into Parliament for getting you had weed in your pocket. You see, now if that had been in the UK Parliament, he'd have been welcomed in with open arms because didn't he do like a swab test on the tops of all the toilet cisterns in the House of Commons, and something like 80% of them had traces of cocaine on them, which is, I'm sure that's out there in the ether of the news somewhere, but just ridiculous. And those are the people who are running the country. Lend you the slidey thing. Have you tried? Anyone else tried the slidey thing on text, where you don't take your thumb off the screen, you sort of slide it to the next letter. It's supposed to be really quick. My mate was a genius at it. I just couldn't get used to it at all. It's ridiculous. Although Kirsty seems to be doing very well with it. I mean, obviously it's coming up with some incredibly weird stuff, but they are actual words. What I was coming up with weren't even words. Yeah, did they confiscate it? How do you hear your keyboard gets confused between Dutch, English, and German words? Mine gets confused between Dutch, English, and Scouse words. It's had to learn a lot of Scouse stuff, which sounds stupid, but it has. We have our own little language in the city. You manoeuvred down to your shoe. Did a tour lecture by a top politician and a live broadcast from the Parliament Hall. That's bringing down the system from within. We like that one, Casper. I was tried and failed at the slidey thing. I'm not surprised. It's ridiculous. Some people really are good at it. I just, in the same way, those people are probably good at, oh shit, wasn't it? It's not xylophone. What was the name of the stylophone, wasn't it? That was advertised by Rolf Bleeden Harris. Stupid little instrument. Griffith neoclassicism. Do you know what? If you're struggling for a YouTube channel name, just read Kirsty's stuff because there's loads on here. McCorkle Cockatoo. I might change my name by deed poll to McCorkle Cockatoo. I was going to change it to Clint Goulash. It's got a certain ring to it, that hasn't it? Hi, I'm Clint Goulash. Yeah, that's yours is confused in general. I think most people's are these days as well, to be honest. Not as confused as Casper's though, with Danish, English and Sunderjysk, is it? Yeah, man, you put your Welsh keyboard on. Merch Windog. Dros dro ar ôl. A party. Yeah, there ain't no party like a Merch Windog party. Yes, we do have to mention that penalty against England last night. I don't really normally watch the England games because I really don't give a shit about England, but I had it on last night because there was sod all else on, and that referee was abysmal. He looked like the kind of person that was bullied heavily as a kid, and now he's got the one little position of power in his life that he can control, and that was it. You will not tell me what I can and can't do. Knob. Horrific pen, definitely. There's a few very, very strange decisions he made as well, though. And the fact that he booked him as well for it. Yes, the didgeridoo and the wobble board that he introduced to us, and he also did the stylophone, which is a little electronic instrument with a little metal stylus, and you played it like a keyboard, and it sounded absolutely horrific. He also introduced asthma, didn't he? And some other stuff. Other stuff that maybe he shouldn't have introduced. Nice weather for ducks, is it? Looks dry as a bone out here, doesn't it? I'm not as lunatic as it has been the last few days. It's been quite windy and odd. Not as bad as Sunday night though. I was exhausted, absolutely exhausted. I got into bed and fell asleep, and then at 3 o'clock in the morning there was a power cut on the estate. The whole of our estate, thousands of people, millions of people, in total darkness, and it set all the alarms off in the houses. It was horrible. And then managed to get back to sleep, and the power came back on at 6 o'clock in the morning and set all the alarms off again, which was horrendous because I had to be up an hour later. Casper, you said to get snow in the weekend. We've been threatened with that as well. Not for this weekend, I don't think, but soon. Yeah, booking Kane. It's just, I don't know what he was seeing. I don't know what, especially with having VAR as well. When you can actually see what's happened and you still make mistakes, it's ridiculous. I don't get wound up about Everton anymore. I've although as someone said, I wouldn't mind the sunshine if I'd never seen the sunshine, I wouldn't mind the rain. I've seen us win the league title twice. I've seen us win the FA Cup. I stood there and actually watched us get the trophies handed over. I've seen the best team that we ever had in the 80s. I've seen us get kicked out of Europe for no reason of our own, and we're the best team in Europe by a distance. So I've been all through that kind of stuff. This at the moment's just a nice little thing to get the fans wound up for Sunday. But I stopped getting wound up about football quite a while ago, to be honest. It doesn't hurt anymore. It doesn't hurt as much as it did. It used to be a defeat, and you'd be like a bear with a sore head for weeks afterwards. Now, you used to just go in the pub after the game, even after getting beat heavily, see your mates and talk about something more interesting. -8. Oh, fuck that. Your missus wasn't happy when you stayed in the hotel to watch the match. Wasn't brave enough to cheer England on in Belfast. Which hotel did you stay in Belfast? I've been there a couple of times with work. I loved it. Absolutely loved Belfast. Especially, again, working. You used to have to go in at 8 in the morning to have a debrief from the day before. Plan everything that we were doing that day. Work 9 to 5. Hampton by Hilton. Alright, yeah, I know the one. And then after 5 o'clock, have another debrief of the way the day had gone. And then from about 6 o'clock onwards, what you do, you go and have your expenses paid evening meal and then go on the ale. So we'd be in Robinson's, we'd have a few in there, the Crown, and end up in like Filthy McNasty's or somewhere, or there's another place on the Dublin Road, another nightclub. We'd end up in there till stupid o'clock in the morning, and then have to get back up at 8 o'clock to start the whole thing all over again. I ended up spending a fortune and not sleeping for about 4 days. It was great. Glorious place, Belfast. If you haven't had a chance, go. Whiny Dog is Welsh for minister. Perfect. Snow lights up the darkness. It certainly does. It's like having a moon under your feet. There's definitely a certain light, isn't there? There's a quality of light when it's been snowing which is completely different. And even if you can't see that there's snow on the ground, if someone takes a picture of someone's face when there's snow on underneath them, you can tell. It's really good. I like it. I like snow. We just don't get it here at all. Too much salt, too much sand in the atmosphere. Never sticks. The moon is getting brighter these days. I seen it yesterday. I took a few pictures. They never come out brilliantly, but there was a nice moon bow, and I think there was Saturn was just above it as well. So it was really bright, and then went really dark, and then Saturn was just gorgeous pinprick of light in the sky. And then when all the lights went off on Sunday night, Monday morning, pitch black. If I hadn't been so utterly exhausted, I would have been outside with the camera, I think, trying to get some decent sky pics. Snow covers a multitude of crap. Certainly does. Or runcorn, as it's known. Yeah, like I say, we don't really have it here too much, but we did all those years ago. I can't even remember what year it was. 2008, 9, 10, around that time. Ended up almost getting stuck in Liverpool. We got got onto the train and it stopped, and they kicked us off at Sandhills and said we can't go any further. Well, for fuck's sake, I've got like an extra 18 miles to get back home here. Ended up getting a taxi with a couple of fellas from Formby and one from Birkdale. And the taxi driver dropped me off because I was the last one. Said if I'd have known what it was like, I'd have never agreed to bring you. So we made sure he got a decent few quid out of it, but he said, sod it, I'm going home. And he did. I then walked to Tesco like a dickhead and got more wine. And then I was off for a week because I couldn't get anywhere. Definitely get snow in Liverpool, yes, we do there, but Southport's we are an anomaly anyway. We're a seaside town without the sea. And just ridiculous amount of salt and sand in the air. But it can be snowing just down the road. It can be snowing all around us. Liverpool, Ormskirk, Preston. And yet this one little Blackpool, you can see it snowing in Blackpool and nothing here at all. We are definitely an anomaly. But I don't mind. Quite like it here actually. Your uncle's had snow every Christmas in his place in Sweden since moving there in 73. Yeah, I've got a mate in Sweden. She's always putting pictures on when it gets to... So, actually now, this time of year, late November, early December onwards, and it looks, no, when someone sends a picture and it looks cold, someone else can send you a picture where it's snowing and it doesn't look cold. They can send you one. It's like, oh my, I can feel it coming off the picture. It's horrible. Like Russia or Poland during the 70s always looked really cold, and yet you could watch people in the Arctic Circle. That doesn't look anywhere near as cold as that. Buggers kicked you off the bus home in Liverpool and you fell over 3 times. At which point, 3 penalties were given to Liverpool, because that's what happens. Snowed in London in June 1975, yep. Doesn't need North Manchester either. No, it's good snow for over a decade. It's a similar kind of thing, won't it? Just bizarre little pockets around the country where it never seems to happen. I think the last time I was in Newcastle, it snowed while I was there. And then on the way home, Leeds was full of it. Huddersfield was absolutely caked in snow. Manchester was chocker with it. And then I got back as far as Liverpool. There wasn't a single flake on the ground. Well, not a flake of snow anyway. And obviously there was nothing in Southport by the time I got back. You get snow, it doesn't last long, but enough for a snowman. I remember living in Enschede in the Netherlands, man. It snowed proper heavy while we were there, but you couldn't make a snowman. You couldn't even make snowballs out of it because there was no moisture in the snow at all. It was just really powdery. It was strange. Weren't used to it at all. Had a week. There's a lot of stuff going on there. A green plate as well as Eichhorn. Huisje, little house. London. London, of course, is a little bit warmer than other parts of the country. It did snow there a couple of years ago. My mate, who well, she doesn't really live in London. She lives more like Essex way, isn't it? Waltham Abbey she lives. But I know pictures she was putting on where she was going in and out of London, it looked heavy at one point. Yeah, it sounds like the west coast there, Casper. Of course, being on the coast anywhere in the UK, we have an opportunity not to have the same kind of weather that some of the eastern side of the country does. So if you go to, Middlesbrough, we lived on the east coast for 5 years, and it snowed every year without fail. Middlesbrough must be one of the coldest places on earth. Ridiculous. And it always snowed, and yet because we've got the Gulf Stream over on the west coast, it keeps it so many degrees higher, enough that you don't really get too much snow, and it is noticeable how much warmer it is. It doesn't snow much there in Netherlands either. It's climate change. It's funny how people always go on about there's no such thing as climate change, and when you say to them, when was the last time it snowed? Oh, I can't remember. When was the last time that the village down the road was washed away in a flash flood? It's never happened. What's happened 6 times this week already? It's ridiculous. We can see it with our own eyes. Snowman in March, man. And it snowed last year in that London there. You remember visiting your rallies in Bryn Lewis on the way back? Snow was higher than the car roof, like bobsleighing in the car. Wales does get some ridiculous amounts of snow. I've seen that. You see it on the news all the time because we're close to where Wales is. So it makes it onto our news occasionally as well. Yeah, bizarre. In June, it was 3.4 degrees Celsius at its coldest one night. That's a winter. And at the same time, it was 16.8 on an island. That is a huge difference. Kirsty in Falling Over Shocker. Which hill did he start to slide down? Maswell Hill, Primrose Hill, Bernard Hill. I have got a picture somewhere of how bad the snow was. And my dad's got a mini one, so it's not like an old mini, it's still fairly hefty, aren't they? And it was right up to the boot. And I was having to try and walk through it to go and get wine, because obviously wine was virtually the most important thing in my life at that point, which is why my brain exploded. Arwen loves pulling the sledge. That's what we like to see. Actually, the one on the side of yours, steep hilly by yours. Filled with horny people and polar bears. That's a hell of a combination, that one. There's a lot going on there. Never the twain shall meet. You don't want them two getting confused. Although you never know. A little bit of love to a polar bear might chill it out slightly. Are horny people and polar bears, are they a few of your favourite things? Are they part of that song? There's like a hidden 19th verse of that one. Brown paper packages tied up with strings. Horny people and polar bears, yeah. The Little Ice Age in the late 1700s. Those must have been the same time as when the Thames froze over, didn't it? Which is just stupid when you've got a tidal river freezing. That's when you know it's cold. You can see snow on Snowdon from the comfort of your conservatory. Snow on, snowed on. Power outage, man. That I'm still gutted. If I had anything about me, I would have gone out and checked it out. I would have gone out there with the camera, because I have got a couple of good pictures recently of the skies, but it's always too bright, too light. Whereas it was absolutely proper robbers weather the other day. Has the Icelandic volcano already gone off? Not seen that one. They're always going off there, though, aren't they? Kev, I didn't watch the Rooney documentary. I was doing something else yesterday when that was on. I can't remember what it was. It'll have been something not remotely important, but I'll have to catch up on that one, I think. Interesting. My dad knows his, her side of the family. All the McLaughlins. I think one of the... It must be a granddad, it must be. Used to run a pub in Garston. Right, so it's right under the village. Jeez. Crazy, that. I know Iceland use the geothermic stuff, don't they, to heat the place. Everyone's got great heating. Well, I'm not surprised when you've got a volcano underneath your feet. Rough as, isn't it? Etna is active. Is that Etna or Edna? Mount Etna. Isn't Mount Etna... Is that sort of almost permanently active? Just constantly rumbling along? Laz, no worries, mate. Cheers. Thanks for popping in. Always nice to see you. Catch you later. Stromboli. Oh, don't start talking about Italian food. Anything Italian sounds like food, doesn't it? If you take the Italian football team and put the word spaghetti in front of the surname, it all sounds legitimately like something you get off a menu. Yeah, well, so when you went kayaking in Iceland, part of the river, you could scoop up boiling water to make tea. That is insane, but it's the reason why they call it the land of fire and ice. Iceland is somewhere that I would love to go. and it is just up the road, really, isn't it, from us? It's not a very long flight. It's not as like going to New Zealand or something. It is just up there. One of these days. I want to see the Northern Lights while wearing a Liam Gallagher smock. Make it the proper Northern Lights. Real Northern. People have left Grindavik now in Iceland. Poor sods. Hope everyone's all right. It's sounds terrible. Yeah, tons of those springs in Greenland as well. Visit Denmark, says Casper, the tourism envoy for Denmark. Jeff fancies a pint. Kebabs are on him. Jeff, man, has he come into money? What's he been doing? It's one of your subs. You get notifications of random eruptions. Alright, so it's a YouTube channel, is it, where they show them live? They are brilliant to watch them, but then you think, no, they're not brilliant because people could be getting hurt here. Steve's seen the Northern Lights from Norfolk. Yep, they do come very, very far south, but I suppose in Norfolk there's a lot less light pollution than there will be in, well, where we are. We've got Liverpool and Manchester, two massive cities side by side, with just light everywhere. Difficult to see anything, unfortunately. But if you're down in the south, if you can sort of view towards the south without getting anything in your way, you should be able to see the Milky Way as well, or one of the spiral arms of the Milky Way. I'd love to see that. The south coast apparently is great for it. Go somewhere fairly dark and you get good pictures of the Milky Way. Jeff's paying. Jeff has come into money from somewhere, hasn't he? Definitely. Need to watch out for him, man. He is dodgy as. Kirsty, the last time you were in a kayak, you ended up badly hurting your foot. Hang on a second, has this started coming through now? Yes. You have to excuse me, I'm starting to hear stuff coming through. It's this pain in the arse thing. Nothing comes through at all, and then all of a sudden it decides to start kicking out sounds to me. Northern Lights are visible there in the Netherlands as well. If it wasn't for all the light pollution, have you ever seen the Earth from the ISS? It's glorious. Most of Africa looks pitch black, with just little bits here and there of light. The States, of course, some of the big cities look very bright, but there's loads and loads of dark areas. And then you come across to Northern Europe, and Northern Europe is just like one continuous light. It's ridiculous. Far too much. North of Sheringham, there's a dark sky area. That must be absolutely superb. I think the nearest one to us, proper dark sky area, is I'm sure it's the Lake District, or you then have to start going to the northeast, or possibly even, I don't know, like probably the Moors or the Pennines. But even then, you still got Manchester and what have you, with loads of light going up. So yeah, proper dark skies. Probably the Lake District. Where's Horace? Should we go and check what Horace is up to as well? There we go. I went to Tesco they were fresh out of honey, I bought lube instead. Horace, do we need to have an intervention? Is there something you're not telling me? I am slightly worried about that young man. Young man. Oh boy. See the Northern Lights there a few nights a year. In Greenland, they say it's the old spirits dancing in the heavens. That's a lovely thing, isn't it? Joust is definitely training to be a ninja assassin. And it's better since they've started using the LED lights, the council there. That really does help, and especially the ones that have got the very, very top down. There's no light coming out, or very little light escapes back upwards. The old sodium lights would just be all over the place. Awful. Horace does want one of those dolls, but he's not getting one. There's no way in it I'm going to get Amazon dropping one of them off so Horace and Kippers can pull the train on it. Not a chance. Even a gentleman has needs. Yep. Even as erudite a gentleman as Horace. I'm disappointed though, because I thought he was better than that. He's a filthmonger. Absolute filthmonger. I'll be having a quiet word. In Reykjavik, they used to once a week turn off all the streetlights and have a lecture on the stars. That's more like it. That's how they should do. Switch everything off. Man, I don't think you'd need to be worried about too much crime there, would you? If we did it here and you turn all the lights off once a week, there would be absolute carnage. We don't want that. Yeah, it wasn't necessary when you were still bright at 3 o'clock at night. A gentleman shouldn't need lube. Is that a maxim to live by, Mandy, is it? A little spit will do. You listening, Horace? You listening? Disgusting behaviour. He's obviously got another side to him that we didn't realise. Just thought he was a poet, but no. Far more to him than that. It's a shame you have so much light pollution. Because when you can see the stars, I mean, the skies look incredible. We just don't get to see them. Nowhere near enough. It's when you go somewhere else, a different country, where there's not as much light as we've got here, suddenly the skies look different. Yep, Steve, it's the girthier birth. Bigger than a baby. Oof. There we go. Depends on how big the baby's head is, I suppose, isn't it? That does sound painful. You couldn't be really, could you? One bad dream and you'd be fainting all over the place. Yeah. It would take a few days of pushing though. That would be very painful. I'm just keeping an eye on my phone. Not ignoring you. Just in case Jess decides to ring early. I doubt she will because, she's all about the Dwayne Eddies. Fair play to her. She worked both days of the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, 12 and a bit hours each day. Then Monday and Tuesday, got up and gone to college and then gone to work after it. Fair play, man. Yeah, Casper, that's the kind of merch that would sell fairly heavy, wouldn't it? I wrecked your mother's perineum. Jess is always looking for a driver that week, always looking for a driver. From early in the morning, I have to ring her to make sure she's awake before I even go round to the house. And then take her to college or placement or to work. And then I've got to wait for her, pick her up afterwards. I've been picking her and a mate's up overnight. I mean, they're all young girls, 17, 18, 19, getting off the train at 11:30 at night. It's not a really horrible area we live in, but I always want to make sure that I'll give them a lift, see them get into the house, make sure that door opens, and then I'm happy that they're all safe. Oh, yours are always chat with the bouncer when he comes to pick you up. Oh, that's not embarrassing. It's nice. Nice that he comes to pick you up as well. Plus, I don't think I don't know. I don't think Jess is overly embarrassed by me, to be honest. Um, Probably because I know not to embarrass her too much. I know it's a dad's job. We do have to do it occasionally because it just keeps your kids in check a little bit. But I don't embarrass her anywhere near as much as my dad tried to embarrass me. Uh, Everything's embarrassing when you're 18, though, isn't it? And you want to appear all grown up. Um, Steve, yeah, I scare everyone in my bungle suit. Considering I'm already a large loaf with that double XL huge fairy thing on as well, it's I must look an absolute sight. When combined with a pair of pink shorts as well, marvellous. I have got it going on. It is fantastic though. I would genuinely suggest it's getting cold. Get hold of one. It's beautifully warm, and I'm not asked about people looking at me when I'm wearing it because it works wonders. It is weird. I mean, my dad, as I say, used to try and embarrass me and my mates all the time, but he was also he'd be on the telly on a Saturday night. He was a famous footballer, so there was that sort of cool about him in the first place. My mates seemed to like that side of things. You had a mate who was allergic to alcohol, who drove us everywhere. That's very, very handy. I don't think I've got any mates like that. Oh, actually, no. I am that mate now, aren't I? I'm not allergic to it, I just don't drink it. Double XL, I feel like a wetsuit. Well, I am getting bigger all the time. Although, it's bizarre. I'm 50, I've had a stroke, I'm not exercising anywhere near as much. I played footy for 30 years every Thursday night. I'm not doing any of that. And I'm still fitting in the same clothes I wore when I was 14. I haven't got the same clothes I had when I was 14, obviously, but everything's exactly the same size. But I've started wearing double XL hoodies and things just for that little bit of loose fit. Yeah, same size waist. I wore a 36 incher when I was 14. I'm a 36 incher there now. Well, I think my feet are shrinking slightly. Or it might just be because my nephew's got size 13 or 14 feet. So mine look dainty compared to his. My dainty 11s. Your dad never embarrassed you, he just disappointed. That's not nice, that, obviously. But that's something we can't control, isn't it? That's the one thing, I suppose. That's why, like I say with Jess, I do take the piss out of her as much as possible, because it's something that we do. It's how we communicate a lot of the time. It's always nice seeing a laugh or a smile on her face, but I also make sure I don't embarrass her too much where she feels uncomfortable in front of her mates. I don't want to disappoint her that way. Yeah, fast metabolism. I have, actually. And it used to be a lot faster, especially when I was playing footy. I mean, the five-a-side we used to play on a Thursday night was an hour of really intense, proper intense footy, indoors on hardwood floor. And that used to, for 3 or 4 days afterwards, no matter what I ate, I could never be satisfied. It must be my body trying to refuel and then go back to the next Thursday. Same thing. Never put any weight on. Your metabolism sank like a rock when you hit 40. It's the unfortunate problem, that, isn't it? It seems to happen. The age thing. I mean, 40 is not really old or anything, but your body starts to tell you at that point, yeah, we're not a kid anymore. Gained 20 kilograms in 3 years. That's 44 pounds, is it? 2.2 pounds to a kilo, isn't it? Yeah. So you put a stone on thinking about a biscuit. Yeah. I've never really had any. My weight could go about a stone higher or lower. Actually, probably, I don't know. Does it work? Is it 2 stone? I could go to 14 or up to 16, but normally 14 and a half to 15 and a half, and no one would be able to tell the difference, because it just doesn't. It didn't look any different at all. When I went to 12 stone 10 in the hospital, I looked awful and never felt healthy. I've put it back on. I'm over 15 stone now, and I feel much healthier for it. Bit more strong. Jeff's not been on yet. He will be though. So 15. You can carry it off. Don't worry about that. Casper, you've got a UK size 8.5 shoe. I'm a UK 11. And I always thought I had big feet, but then my nephew's got. His feet are so big he has to go to McGull to turn round. That's how bad it is. Kirsty sat there eating Jaffa cakes. I hate you. I want Jaffa cakes. Why haven't I got Jaffa cakes? Why did you mention them? Oh man, I love Jaffa cakes. Oh, Hadwig, I hate you as well. Paper Noten, I love Paper Noten. I miss them. I've got a friend who lives in Rotterdam who used to occasionally send stuff over to us. And I got a Christmas box sent over once full of stuff like that. I loved that. Got absolutely wired into it. Yeah, the vegan version of a kebab for the vegans, Jaffa cakes. Your feet are 12 wide, like a hobbit. Went to school with a guy wearing UK 18s. Jeez. That is proper heavy, isn't it? If you do a week on a liquid diet, you can lose over a stone in under a week. I did a liquid diet and I lost over a week. And I was stoned. It's crazy weight, isn't it? UK size 11. Sorry, 7.5. Nice. You regularly encountered the second largest man in the Netherlands when you went to a sauna in Marsen when your sister lived in Amsterdam. When you say large, are we talking large as in basketball player or large as in Casper's checking him out in the showers? 2 meters 18. Really nice guy. That is tall, man. That is ridiculous. I'm 1 meter 93. That's a hell of a lot higher. Jeez. I don't like basketball, but I remember watching, there was basketball on Channel 4 or something, and there was all these massive fellas, and there was a little tiny fella at the back, just a little skillful, you know, we'd call it like a midfield dynamo, just a little tiny lad. And he was 6'4", this fella. But Jesus, he looks like an absolute midget compared to this lot, and yet he's the same height as me, he's massive. Just, it's bizarre how big them fellas are, 7 foot plus. He is in proportion. One of those saunas, was it? I don't think that's probably a good thing, is it? Someone being that tall to be in proportion. Jesus. Be walking like John Wayne for a week. Seems the second largest man there is 218 as well in Denmark. Maybe that's what it is. That's, you get to a certain thing, 218. That's your level, and then there's got to be some absolute lunatic who's just above you. Are there any other saunas? I don't know. It depends on where you are. In some countries, in the UK, you wouldn't have that kind of sauna because everyone's really just. We don't do well with our bodies. It's completely different when you go into Europe. People don't care, do they? Hard to buy shoes for you because you're normally a 7 or 8, either too small or too big. Yes, you're in that in between. Online shopping's easier to get your shoe size. Yep. I always find online shopping's really good because I've got that classical. It's going to sound like Rigsby, the almost classic profile. It just seems to be perfectly made for the sizes. I've got a perfect XL in t-shirts, a perfect 36 long in jeans, what have you. Gasper's wishing he was in proportion. How do we? Yeah, you wouldn't go for him. In the style of Hall and Oates, I can't go for that. No can do. You don't need that. Got saunas everywhere. Yeah, most of the good places in Europe will have them. Obviously, we haven't got them because everyone just be too mortified to get undressed in front of each other. How do we try and go to the sauna at least once a week, especially in winter? You go once a week, I've been never in my life. Bad's that. Goth boots are us, yeah. Has everyone experienced mini buffering? Or is it just Mandy? Chat can answer that one, I can't. New rocks, it's easy to get your size in the shops. Oh, so how do we QR as well? I don't know if it's me messing around with the stuff earlier on. I might have to reinstall. I don't want to reinstall OBS because that'll be a nightmare. Casper, you did the list, man. So Steve's alright, no buffering there. Sauna, finally warm feet. Kirsty's buffering as well. Right. I might be a couple of things that I tried earlier on which obviously wasn't working. I won't try that one again. I want to make sure that YouTube's working properly because that's where it is. Sod Twitch. We don't need Twitch. Don't need that fascist groove thing here. Anyway. Tales from the Crypt with Jeff. 3 wood, dogleg to the left, avoid the bunker, feast on the flesh of your enemies. Oh, he's got into golf, has he? Poning noobs and ogling boobs. Lads night in, is it? There we go. He's always gamer, obviously. Why did I end up sitting next to Pee Wee Herman? Always the way. You do not want to be sat next to Pee Wee Herman in a cinema. Well, not anymore because he died recently, didn't he? But if he's got popcorn in his lap, do not reach in for a bit. Only the ladies getting buffered. Yeah, getting a right buffering tonight, ain't ya? Don't know why that is. Is Jeff buffering you up, is he? Is that what it is? Jeff being a filthmonger. Blame Jeff. Has to be Jeff. Isn't that a song? It had to be Jeff. Weird that though. I don't understand why it's been acting so strange. I don't understand why Restream, which I stopped using a long time ago, why that decided it couldn't push out 2 streams at once, because all that goes to them and then it's not doubling up the amount of processing power that I'm using. And it's saying 2 are active on there, but obviously it's not. Rubbish. Oh well. It was worth a go to see if it worked. The other way of doing it is to use the plugin that I've got. But I think that does use extra processing power. And if I'm already buffering, then we're not having that. Got to keep this as well as possible. YouTube being mean like normal, yep. It doesn't always work perfectly. There are times when it suddenly decides to go crazy. And I don't know, we've got fairly decent internet. I've got a pretty quick laptop. I think it's 16 gig of RAM, which is more than enough to be able to deal with the stream. It's not like I'm going out to 4K either, it's just 1080p, it's normal. Yeah, bizarre. But it could be our internet, I suppose. Pushing buttons, I've caught it off down. No buffering with Casper. Casper, it must just be, it's the ladies. Ladies getting buffered. Bizarre. I wonder how it knows. It must be Jeff. It's got his fingerprints all over it, hasn't it? The mucky, blue-skinned bastard. Or maybe it's Horace downloading some kind of filth on his phone. Now that we know what he's like. Very disappointed. Very, very disappointed. 2 lurkers you've noticed. Hello lurkers. How we doing, lurkers? You might be more observant to the buffering. How do we? You're probably more observant than us in all aspects. As us men tend to just the world's going on around us. You see more colour nuances. There's loads of things like that, isn't there? I mean, women like to make this thing about man flu. Bloody man flu. Of course, man flu is a thing, and it's only a thing because our pain threshold, we suffer colds more than women do. Our pain threshold is not as high as yours because you have to give birth, so you've got a better pain, better dealing with pain. There was a scientific experiment done on it. Men suffer colds far worse than women ever do, so you can't really empathise with us because you don't understand what it's like. But at the same time, we don't give birth, so yeah, we don't need it. It's Kevin Anastasia. Could be Kev, yeah. I mean, he was here earlier on, wasn't he? And I doubt it is Anastasia. Mr. Bean. Do you like Mr. Bean? Kev, no worries, mate. Cheers. See you later. Yeah, the giving birth's not good, is it? See, this is why I think with evolution, if it was men that gave birth, we'd develop something on our backs, like a backpack where the baby stayed, and it just got cut out, unzipped or something afterwards. Bizarre. You're a bit stoned because you found the one you made a few days ago and misplaced. Are you squirreling joint now, are you? Man, do you like watching men trying the period pain tests? Yeah. I don't think I'd be doing that myself. But is it Mickey Flanagan did that thing? Getting hit in the balls is more painful than giving birth. Oh no, I'm sure it was one of them anyway. And the proof was women decide to give birth for a second time. Men would not decide to get kicked in the balls for a second time. Therefore, there's your proof. You wouldn't mind the seahorse way. Yeah. That's that would be the next evolutionary step. Always careful, Steve. Always careful, mate. We've got to fight back slightly, though, haven't we? Yeah, suggest that one to the boys. There you go. If you really want to embrace the suck, try the period pain test. Live. Live stream it. See, I'm getting behind this because it's not me who's having to do it. That's why I'll do that. I'll watch. I'll get the popcorn in. That's the kind of thing where you gifted memberships and what have you that people keep getting would be revoked within seconds, and you'd be kicked off the Patreon. All of it, just for suggesting it to them. Poor sods. Cricket ball at 80 miles an hour. Oh yes. Ow. Straight into the box. Oof. Yep. You got kicked in the crotch once when practicing Krav Maga. Went down like a rock. Couldn't have sex for a month. Jesus. Ouch. Guess you once slipped on your skateboard, it went upright. Oh. It slashed your scrotum. After it healed, it was still blue. Jeez. You have it on tape. Videotape, or did you have to have duct tape or something to keep it all in one go? Jeez. Straight through the box. Ouch. Bad stuff, man. Bad stuff. And cricket balls are ridiculously hard as well, aren't they? I mean, I think the only thing I've seen that's worse than that is a hurling sliotar, which is like a baseball but with a really, really thick seam on it. I've got one somewhere, and it's horrific. Just it looks so dangerous. Digitalised 10 years ago. Oof. So it's there forevermore. Filmed on a high 8 tape. Don't want that. That is heavy salad, la. Yeah, could be a hit on OnlyFans. I didn't realise there's people on OnlyFans who just do normal videos. I thought it was all just women doing naughties, but no, there's apparently there's people on there just doing normal videos. Strange. You once got hit in the balls with a stray red 3 pool ball. You need to keep stuff like that away from your your marble purse. It'll probably go viral on YouTube. You need to be careful it doesn't go viral after getting split. Ooh, Casper's being dared into uploading it to YouTube. That could be the viral moment. That could be the one. The next Mr. Beast. Yeah, on OnlyFans you at least you would get paid for it, guaranteed. Pay-per-view. Goran has an OnlyFans. You never looked. Seems to be the majority of people on Twitter have it as well. Follow loads of people, all from. We used to play a game on there called Brexit or Remain. It was called, and then whoever was running it would find random Twitter accounts, and then just put up their avi, and you'd have to guess whether they were Brexit or Remain, and then make up a little backstory. I used to love playing that, but all the girls who used to play it all seem to be on OnlyFans. It's bizarre. Like 100 people playing this game, and then 60 of them end up going on OnlyFans. Strange. Your balls are rest on the pool table edge height. I'm lucky enough I'm slightly above that. Goran is an Irish comedian and singer. I've never heard of him, to be honest. I've heard that, actually, I think the name, but I've never heard anything by him. Him or her, I got no idea. Right, let's check this out. If my phone had stopped being a tit. Is this the right one? Is he Eastern European name, is he? Goran Vugranec, or is that someone completely different? Follow him, he's delicious. That's his tagline, not your opinion, by the way. Fair dues. Thought you were letting your guard down there for a sec. Alright, so you're taller than that now, of course. You were shorter back in your boarding school pool table days. Fair enough. Still got to watch out for it, though. Different types of balls do not need to be connecting with each other. Cricket ones, pool ones, and the normal ones. That is freezing cold. Well, I'm going to start looking at finishing up for the night, because my phone will be going fairly soon, I would have thought. And I need a hot drink before I go out. I might even make one in my thermos mug and take it with me. But yeah, I've enjoyed that tonight. Again, always learn something. It's fantastic. You are the best audience I could possibly hope for, genuinely. Raining where you are, you don't really want to go for a walk. Had a week, I think the Honda will not give you the option of not going out. Newton's cradle was discovered by a man inspecting his balls left, right, and then in between. Yep. You like him, but there's no accounting for taste. No. Very, very true. But I'll take your word for it. And for once, it's not raining there. Oh. Not raining here, but the sky is just filled with geese heading south for the winter. Although I think they'll be heading to Martin Mere to go and have a drink before they leave. They always had their... Legolas is not enthusiastic either. No. One of yours is bigger than the other two, Casper. Yep. That's the nature of things. Steve, cheers, mate. Good night to you as well. Thanks for coming as always. How do we make it a quick to the square and back kind of walk? That's what we need. SAS style. Get in, get the job done, get out. Leave no trace. Waiting for the German tourists to head south for the winter. Yep. With their towels on the sun lounges. Right, so, well, yeah. Thank you very much. Hugely enjoyable as always. Always enjoy it, really do. I am starting to feel a bit tired though, and I need to put me full on fairy hoodie on as well tonight, I think, because it is starting to get a bit chilly out there. Yes, and dankjewel, Ulrich. See you next time at Welterusten. And yes, I will see you all later on. I think it's there somewhere, isn't it? Where is it? Yeah. See you later.